We are here. Different types of REITs to purchase. Ooh, let me turn this off. We are here. You guys are tuned in. This is our live talking nothing but REITs, how to invest in real estate with less than $200. And we're going to talk about the different types of REITs that you guys can invest in. We're going to go through different industries. We're going to go through a lot of stuff tonight. So I want to make sure you guys are tapped in, tuned in, turned on, ready. Get your notebook and pen. We have a guest as well, too. So let me bring in the Rob Boy. Look who it is. How are you? Can you guys see me? Can we see Rob? Are we good over here? Rob, you always got the swag on.
Hey, always. Hey, I learned the rule. I learned the rule. Always be selling.
I know you make me feel bad. I wanted to wear I love Nike sweatsuits. I have a lot of them. I went to the nail salon today. Let me wear a Nike sweatsuit. We gotta get some Wealth Builder sweatsuits.
For sure.
They're calling you Robert.
Somebody called me by my government. Ooh.
Hey guys. All right, so we are here today. We are talking nothing but REITs. I know a lot of people have no idea what a REIT is. By the way, it is pronounced R-E-I-T. That's the word, but it's pronounced REIT, not REIT, not all the other terms that I hear you guys say. So real estate investment trusts, for short, it's called REITs. And tonight, that's what we're talking about. Because I feel like there are so many people who want to get into real estate, who want to get out of the mindset that I'm just going to earn income, I'm going to work at my job, and you want to do more. You know you deserve more. The pandemic hit, you better be doing more, but you don't know what to do. And I know a lot of us, when we think about real estate, and I know this is me in particular, we think about having a lot of money. We think about having great credit. We naturally can't think about real estate without thinking about the bank, which in all honesty is borrowing money from them. And this session is for individuals who want to get into real estate, don't know how to get into real estate, may not have the cash flow, may not have the credit, may not have the resources or even the time. Like, I don't even know if I barely have time to go to the nail salon and get my hair done, or just to be a normal person, right? So a lot of us may not have the time. A lot of us may not have the resources, but that does not mean we accept only one stream of income. That does not mean that our dreams get pushed aside. So we're here. I got the Rob Boyd with me. He is the REIT guru, okay? I don't even use the word guru, but we're going to put that next to Rob's name.
You going to put me out there like that?
We have a lot of people here from our Wealth Builders community. I see a couple people saying REIT gang. I feel like that is the term you are allowed to use when you have graduated the REIT accelerator. So right. I'm excited to see that a lot of people here are from our Wealth Builders community. But I'm ready. You ready, Rob?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So before we even start, I need to talk to the audience. Who here has followed myself or Rob and saw that we were having a class that was called How to Invest in Real Estate with Less Than $200? And for those of you who have never taken my class or have never taken that class, tell me what pops into your mind when you see how to invest in real estate with less than $200. Like, what are we thinking about when we see a title like that? WB Gang is ready. We got a lot of WB gangs in here.
All right, we in here.
So I know, just based off of me talking to people, some people are trying to figure out what I'm trying to sell them, what gimmick I'm trying to be a part of, because no one has ever heard of a way to invest in real estate with less than $200. So I just said, you think it's impossible, right? But I'm here to tell you that there's a way for you to do that. So I am a firm believer in showing my community how to build wealth. I don't care if you have $5 or $5,000 or $500 or $5 million. I have taught in prison systems. I have taught in the public school systems. I have taught 8-year-olds. I have worked with millionaires and billionaires. There is no aspect of money that I have not seen throughout this, 13 plus year tenure I have had in the financial industry. So I need you to understand, one, if I post something on my social media, best believe it isn't something I read in a book. It is something that I do, something that I live, and something that I represent. I will never teach you or talk about anything that I am not well versed in, that I do or do not do, right? So for example, you don't see me talk about cryptocurrency because I don't trade cryptocurrency. I'm not about to read a book and turn into an expert. But REITs, now let me tell you, I got my real estate license. I literally, if those of you who registered for the free class, and if you did not, Monday, April 12th at 8 p.m., you need to be there. bit.ly/REITs class, REITS class. You need to be there. You need to be there. Someone just said, I bought 10 shares of O Realty. Listen, I'm about to go to O Realty's annual meeting. I just got the email. You need to be at this free class because I'm tired of people telling me they don't have money. I'm tired of people angry at the system. I'm tired of people waiting around for this president of ours to do something for us. You have what it takes to build wealth. You don't need to have it all today. But if you can position yourself so that you're better financially in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, better than what your parents and their parents were financially, you need to be at this class. Because there is no reason why we're sitting here spending money, making all these companies rich, but we aren't building wealth for ourselves.
Right.
So owning REITs is a way for you to build wealth. But I want you guys to understand, when we're talking real estate, we're not talking about buying a property and flipping it. I don't even use the word flip at all. This is a longevity play. This is a long term. This is a family legacy, creating a last name that actually means something in your family type of game we're playing here, right? So understand, when you're investing in REITs, before we even go into it, you are not trying to flip your money. Now, it's a bonus if you get to do that. It's a bonus.
Right, right.
And you just might because of this pandemic, because a lot of prices have dropped. But you are playing this REIT game for cash flow. Cash flow, not appreciation. So if we had to compare it to directly buying a property, having that money, having the capital, having the credit score, going to the bank and getting that loan, we are looking for tenants. We want cash flow. That's why we're here. So if you are someone who wants to flip money, you might as well leave this session because it might not be for you. But if you want to create an additional income, if you want to have a passive income, if you want to have a passive income for your kids, you need to pay attention because REITs can put you in that position. Now, am I telling you you're going to make a bunch of money today, that you're going to flip your money, have tons of money coming in every month today? Well, it depends on what you start with. But I can guarantee you that if you know what you're doing, you pay attention to this session, you will open your mind and see what's out there for you so that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, if you're like anything like me, we're talking less than 3 years. I'm talking $10,000 a month type of money, right?
Sure.
That's my goal, right? That's my goal. But I want you to know the passive income you create is what you put yourself in a position to have. We're here giving you the juice. Listen, you could drink it, you could guzzle it, you could save it, you could do whatever you want with it, but we've got it. But understand, we're not here to talk about flipping money. We're talking about passive income. So if you are someone who wants additional income, who in the next 5 years wouldn't mind having your passive income pay your bills, forget even all your bills,
right.
Pay your car note, pay your mortgage, pay your rent, pay your, I would love for my passive income to pay my cell phone bill. It doesn't even matter. Something that I can make that I don't have to put in work for. Because I work every day trying to build Amplify, right? But if I can make passive income and still run Amplify and not have to manage tenants or go to the bank to get a loan, understand, this is the game you want to start to introduce yourself to. You're not here to flip. You're here to collect. That's why we're here. So, Rob.
Yo.
Break down what a REIT is and how people can do it. Because I'm getting a lot of questions, even in the Wealth Builders community. Okay, yeah. I hear what this REIT thing is. I'm ready to do it. It sounds exciting. I think it's kind of real. I know it's kind of real, but wait. How do I do it, right? So talk to me about what it is.
Okay.
In the Rob Boyd language.
In the Rob Boyd language.
And how do we actually invest in REITs?
So
they said, talk to us, Rob. They said, talk to us, Rob.
I think this is the $1 million or millionaire question of the year is, what is a REIT? And how do they make me income? That's what we all care about at the end of the day in relation to our livelihoods and our lifestyle. So plain and simple, this is the best definition you're probably going to get in layman's terms is if you think about some of the terms in real estate investment trust. That's what the acronym is, or the full out spelling for the acronym that we all know as REIT, right? REIT. So if you think about it, we all know what real estate is, and we generally know what a investment is. And we've heard this word trust. I'm sure we've seen movies. We've heard this word trust fund and all these different things around the word trust in relation to finance. So what they did, and this was about 60 years ago, they said, how can we combine some of the best aspects of real estate and trust and other things and create an investment vehicle that can help the middle class invest in real estate? So the trust part of the term real estate investment trust really deals with some of the protections that those companies have from taxes. But the great part is that a real estate investment trust is something that you can invest in which you own a piece of the company, of the trust, which is just, I guess, a moniker for the company, a title for the company. But you invest in a real estate trust by buying shares, just the same way you buy stock. And by buying shares, you own a part of a company that owns a portfolio of real estate. And as a shareholder, you have immediate rights to the cash flow, to the profit that that portfolio of real estate creates. So a real estate investment trust is simply, it's a company. It's just a type of a company that is enabled to pay you dividends higher than the average dividend yield for a REIT is higher than any other type of investment on the stock market. So we're talking about
and your savings account and your money market account.
Savings account. Yeah.
Don't forget that.
So when we think about REITs, they are a group of companies that are on the stock market that on average pay the highest dividends. And when you think about, okay, what's a dividend? I heard that word. What does that word mean? A dividend is simply a payment from a company to an investor or shareholder. They're interchangeable words, but it's basically a dividend is a company saying, hey, we made all this profit and we know you invested in us at one point. And because you own a part of this company, we're going to share the profit with you as an investor, and we're going to pay that to you in the form of a dividend. So this, when you think about this process, right, it takes out all of the labor and legwork of real estate and gets us to what we truly are interested in real estate for, which is consistent income and the ability to earn a passive income that doesn't require us to get up and spend our time to make that money. And so in general, a REIT is a type of a company, and is a company type that enables you to earn higher dividends than many other types of investments, simply because this company is incentivized to pay you dividends because they don't want to pay corporate taxes. And that is the whole purpose of this type of investment. And their ability to not pay corporate taxes is kind of a reason why there's a trust in the term, because generally a trust protects you from taxes. And so this is where this whole term comes from, and is simply a company that owns a portfolio of different types of real estate. We're about to talk about it in a couple moments. But this portfolio that this company owns, when you become an investor and a shareholder, you have rights to the income that those properties create. And that is the simplest 5-minute definition I can give to you on what a REIT is.
So just even listening to you talk, this made me think, right? Let's look at it like this. Let's say you guys heard of this company called Amplify. And instead of Amplify creating financial education tools and resources that will impact billions of people all across the world, instead of that, We invest in commercial properties. So we build we build the property, we manage the property, we put the tenants in there, and then you invest in Amplify. And Amplify says, hey, we're not paying corporate taxes, but the agreement is 90% of the income that we make from our commercial properties has to be distributed to you because you're an investor.
Correct.
So Amplify, which would be the REIT, would manage the properties, do all the work, and you say, hey, they own a lot of properties. They got some good cash flow coming in. They got some strong tenants that they've been working with for a long time. I like the vision of this company. Now, I don't have money to buy the properties that Amplify's buying. I may not even have the credit to go to the bank. Matter of fact, I don't even want to borrow money from the bank to own property. But I heard Amplify is really good. And they give out cash. So Amplify is making consistent cash flow, has a portfolio of properties all across the world because we're really good. And you say, I want to invest in them. And for every share you buy in Amplify, you will get paid. You're going to either get paid quarterly, but if we're doing the old realty style, we might just pay you monthly.
We might pay you monthly.
Check monthly. So we collect the rent payments, which is how the company produces income. And then we, at the end, give you cash flow because you're part owner of our business. Correct. You don't manage the property. Oop. You don't even have to call Amplify if you don't even want to talk to anybody. That money will come to you in your account, which you need a brokerage account to buy REITs. If you want to ask how, get a brokerage account. Brokerage account, just like how you will buy a stock, get a brokerage account. And that money will come automatically. You don't have to sign any papers. The money will just come because that is what we are structured as when it comes to the entity that we are. So we got a question that says, can you reinvest the dividend? Absolutely, baby. I just posted a video today. What does it mean? What does DRIP mean? Absolutely. So let's say you invested in Amplify because we are the REIT. And we're giving you, because we're a monthly dividend paying REIT. All right. Doing it for 25 years. We're considered an aristocrat like on realty, right? Life goes, right?
Right.
And you say every month, based off of the shares that I own, because you have to buy shares of the company, which costs money.
Right.
Let's say you're only getting $25 a month, right? So $25 a month, if I found $25 on the ground, I'll pick it up, right?
Right.
I don't really need too much. $25, I can't really do too much. So instead of taking the cash, you turn on the DRIP feature, dividend reinvestment program, in your brokerage account. And your brokerage account says, hey, when that Amplify REIT pays you a dividend, I'm not going to put the cash in your account. I'm going to buy you more shares of the Amplify REIT automatically. So what happens is when your dividend is reinvested, you're owning more shares. What happens when you own more shares? Your dividend payment is higher.
Right.
The more shares you own, the higher your dividend payout will be, right? So for those of you who are just starting, especially those of you who are in the Wealth Builders community, I really feel like the impact of what we're building right now, when we had this conversation in this exact same place, except I'll be in a penthouse in New York City somewhere. Rob will be in New York too, because I'm moving Rob to New York with me, guys.
Don't listen
moving to New
her.
York too, and I'm moving. Like, just shoot my shot, right? 5 years from now, you're really going to see the impact of what you started today.
Wow.
That's why this class on Monday is so important, because you have no idea what you can create when you start today.
Right.
You have no idea. I've seen people in our Wealth Builders community start investing in REITs and started collecting $300-400 a year in passive income. And they did it in 3 months.
Hold on, time out. It's been 6 months.
Yeah, no. She did it in 3. No, so I had this conversation back
Okay, all right.
Back in December.
All right.
So she did it literally in 3 months. And she's in a position now with her investments that she's making $300 to $400 a year passively.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Passively. Now, again, you may look up and say, 300, 400 may not. You guys kill me with this. How much do I have to invest to make money? Why does it matter? You're not working for it. It doesn't matter. I don't care if a company's giving me $5. what has society or your parents taught you to do that causes you to not have to reproduce any physical effort to make money? America did not teach you how to make money in your sleep.
It didn't.
They taught you how to get a job. You know why you got to get a job, guys? Because you get a paycheck. And you know why you get a paycheck? Because that company that pays you gets to write it off on their taxes, right? And when you get that paycheck, you spend money, right? You spend money. But wait, where do you spend your money? Oh, you give it to some $1 million, $1 billion business, which probably pays rent to a REIT. And that owner of that business, those shareholders of that REIT and that business you gave the money to, they getting rich. America doesn't tell you that. But they tell you, oh, take out these loans, get this credit card, go buy this house, give me more money, take out this loan. Like, that's what they tell you. That's what they tell you. So get out of the mind frame. How much do I have to invest to make a good amount of money? You know what's good? $5 is good. Look, I've seen people in our community get 15 cents in their first dividend. You know why they got excited? Because that 15 cents is going to turn to 15,000 because they're never going to stop.
Correct.
We're creating beasts out here. Listen, I need you to understand what's going down right now. Like, you have no idea. And I'm getting hot right now, so you know I'm
hold on. And you make a great point. And we gotta make sure we nail this home, because I think that there's this idea that something's magically going to change. We were all taught, and nobody's safe from this, right? We were all taught that time is money. And that is wrong. Time is way more than money. You can't get time back. So when we were conditioned to say, okay, all right, if I work here, y'all got to pay me $15 for every hour that I work here, we reduced ourselves to thinking time is money. But let's put that on pause real quick. We have to understand that if we want to be wealthy and have this idea of life where we don't have to work, well, if you choose to, that's your choice. But if you don't want to have to work, you have to operate in a way where you detach your time away from money. And the only way to do that is to own an investment that can replace the income that you are currently exchanging your time for. That is the only way to get there. So we have to understand that time is way more valuable than money, because you can't get time back. Money can always come back. So once we detach from that, we can then say, all right, what do I need to do now to make sure I have enough investments to buy my time back? And that's what REITs buy your time back. And we all understand real estate. Let's not act like we need a real estate class. The reason we all love real estate is because we all have lived the reality that real estate creates an income for someone, because we're all either used to paying a mortgage or paying rent. And so the idea of real estate is very simple to us. That's why we're all enamored by it. The hard part has been getting in the game. And REITs make the game easier to get into, because you don't have to start with a lot of money. You don't have to start with a loan. You don't need better credit. You don't need any of the things that we've kind of been programmed to use, because we've been operating as if our time is money. And we have to eliminate that thought process in order to really understand what REITs can do for us, or what the job they are doing for us real time. And so once we can all agree on that, which I'm sure we all do, then we can move forward and say, okay, me investing in REITs is me buying my time back. And what do I need to do? And what REITs do I need to invest in that are going to have the greatest ability to pay me my time back? And that's what the bottom line is. Now, of course, there are many technicals, and we're going to walk through those. We're going to talk through those. We're going to make sure you understand all those things. But that's the foundational thing we got to understand before we take the next step. So, Ashley, would you agree that we got to eliminate this time is money? My time is way more than money, and I got to buy it back.
And I don't care if it takes you 10 years to get to a point where you are replacing your job's income. Do you know There are people here. I have clients who are 50, 60 years old, who work their whole life to retire, to travel, to shop. Our parents, and I'm 32. Rob, what you about to turn? You about to turn 33, right?
About to turn 33.
Our parents worked their whole life. Ashley Marie Fox will not work her whole life. Now, she will change the world every day of her life, but she will not have to physically work. Ever. I travel the world with a laptop now. Our parents couldn't do that. We live in a different era. Let go of this old narrative. You don't have to work hard for everything. You got to start paying attention to these wealthy people. All these people that we complaining about don't pay taxes. Play the game they're playing. Society was made for those people not to pay taxes. You ain't changing the system tomorrow, so play the system. Play the game. Get in where you fit in. Stop. I saw a post about Bernie Sanders posted that Phil Knight didn't pay taxes, and if we went and bought Air Force Ones, we pay. Who cares? Phil Knight is Phil Knight because I got on his tracksuit right now. I do. Right. And I love Nike, but am I mad that he built a company that I love and he's rich off of it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So who cares if this man don't pay taxes? Is he in jail? No. He's running $1 billion business that is the #1 company, freaking sneaker company in the world. Nobody can touch Nike. I don't care what Yeezys you wearing. Nobody can touch Nike. So understand that you can play this game. Play this game. Do you know that the mall you walk in, if it's owned by Simon Property, they're not paying taxes because they're giving you 90% of their income? The mall you shop at is not paying a certain amount of taxes either. So we mad at the mall too? Like, let's be real. This is how America is set up. It's set up this way.
This is set up
this way. We're spending so much time being angry. Who cares? Why are we counting somebody else's pockets? You don't want me counting your pockets, so why do we care if Phil Knight or Jeff Bezos or every other billionaire out there is not paying taxes? Because middle America's paying taxes? Well, I would say if I was a billionaire, well, middle America, fine, you pay the taxes. You don't pay as much taxes as we do, but you know what will happen is middle America will just go spend more of their money. That's all they're going to do. And when you spend more of your money, who's getting richer? People like Phil Knight. And this is where this conversation needs to really take a turn, because it's not about having more money. If we can't save a dime out of a dollar, why would we give you more money? Why would you won't be able to save $1 million out of 10 million. If I can't get you to invest in a REIT for $30, but you sitting here complaining that you only make $5 off of it, but you're going to go spend the $30 anyway. Anyway, what else are we doing with our money? What else? Literally, I had a whole conversation in the last class I did, and we were talking about investing, and someone made reference to, I got to put up this money to get chump change. Chump change? Probably should have been in the class.
Oh, man.
Okay, chump change. It's not chump change because you don't got to work for it. So then I said, tell me a place where you could put in $200 and get $8 back every year for the rest of your life.
Oh,
let me know. I think it was Pepsi Stop.
But don't forget, the $200 is still there, too. And you can get that back whenever you want to.
I forgot about that, right. So where can you put in $200 and get $8 back for the rest of your life? And the $200 doesn't go. You ain't got to put in more $200, just sits there. And you get $8 for the rest of your life. Tell me where you can do that. Let me tell you where America tells you. At work, your job is not giving you extra money if you don't show up. You cannot do something at your job one time and get paid for the rest of your life.
You can't do it.
Wait. They also tell you, get a savings account. I don't know about you guys, and let me know if I don't know everything. What savings account is even giving you $8? Period. Like who, what, when, and where? Sign me up, right? So if you can't tell me you could turn my $200 into $8 every single year for the rest of my life. There's nothing you can say. And that's how REITs are structured. It's just like buying a property in the suburbs with a good tenant. And they pay you consistently, baby. Now, you still got the property, but that cash flow is coming. The more properties you buy, the more cash flow you will get. The problem is most people in real estate borrow money to buy the property to then collect the cash flow. Most people start with a lot of money. But what if you don't have to? What if you started with $30 and made your cash flow from there and treated every REIT that you own and that dividend you got like a tenant? You want more money, go put up more money. Stop spending money and go invest more money. That's how you turn your $5 into $5,000 in 5 years. Correct. So we got to turn off, it's not a lot of money. It's more than what we have and more than what we were taught to make in our sleep.
Correct.
And that's why this class on Monday, how to invest in real estate with less than $200 is important, because most people don't even have $200 to start. So if you don't have $200 to start, what do? Just keep spending? What do? Keep saving? You know, the bank is taking your money out of your savings account and they're investing. How come everybody's investing with your money and making money off of you, but we're not doing anything? You mean to tell me that, I don't have money for real estate, so Ashley Marie Fox can't get paid? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
So REITs are the way to do so. So if you have less than $200, you can invest in REITs and collect cash flow immediately. And this is why we're here. This is why this class is our most powerful class that we've ever done. How to invest in real estate with less than $200 is our best class that we've ever done by numbers. The REIT Accelerator that we created less than maybe 6-7 months ago is the best program we've ever created. We've produced numbers, have invested thousands of dollars with people just like you who have never started. The real thing is, hey, Wealth Builders community, where are you guys going to be in 5 years? Not where's the company going to be, where are your members going to be? What's the net worth of the Wealth Builders community after 5 years of being connected to a group of people who want to build wealth? Connected to a group of people who aren't afraid to start small, right? Understand this is the game we're playing. We're not in a community talking about why one man didn't pay taxes. We over here sitting trying to figure out how we can all
how can I not pay taxes?
That's what we're talking about. I don't care. Tell me how you're not paying taxes.
Right.
Let me know, which means I can keep more of my money. Not to go spend it, but to invest more, to travel more, to do more for Ashley. Forget bills. I want my life back. I want my freedom, right? And up until this point, America hasn't taught you how to do it. That's why the Wealth Builders community was created. We're taking you out of society and bringing you into a secret society to teach you what schools aren't teaching you. And one of the things I bet you didn't learn in school was what a REIT was. A REIT, R-E-I-T. So those of you who know people who want to build passive income, who don't want to stay at their job for the rest of their life, who want to make money in their sleep, I need you to share this live right now. I need you to send them the bit.ly/REITs class right now. If you're not in this class on Monday, don't DM me. I don't take you seriously. If you are not a graduate of the REIT Accelerator, don't ask me what drip is. I'm not taking you seriously, because you can't tell me that there's no way for you to build wealth, because that's why Amplify was created, to target the people who don't know, don't get exposure, but have the ability to create wealth brick by brick by brick. Now that we got that off of our chests,
had to let that one go. We had to get that off.
Let's talk about what you can invest in. But before we do that, right? By the way, if you guys are registered for the free class, what we're talking about today is in a download. I'm going to send you guys when you register for the free class, you'll get an email that has a download breaking down the different types of REITs you can buy, the exercises that we're going through. There is a free guide that you get. We're giving you stuff all up until the class starts on Monday. Register for the free class and tell your friends, your mother, your father, your family, because it's a lonely road. I started investing while I was talking, me and Rob were on the phone talking. I didn't do it by myself. We were investing simultaneous. Like, we were doing it at the same time. It's a lonely road when all your friends ain't trying to build wealth. It's a lonely road when you want to change your life and nobody in your circle is ready to make a change, right? It's easier to do it with somebody who's ready. So invite your friend. I don't care if it's one person. And again, some people might not be ready, and that's okay. But you got to surround yourself around people who want to change, because change is infectious. Wealth building is infectious. We don't just invest in our wealth builders community because Ashley and Rob taught you how to do it. We invest because we see other people believing in themselves and they do it. So if they can do it, everybody can do it. So invite your friends and family to this free class, because when I tell you, it's a game changer. Just the class itself is a game changer.
Right.
Make sure you are there. But when this live is over, everybody who registered for the free class, between now and Monday, you will get a guide that breaks what we're talking about down. A free guide that breaks down these different industries we're about to talk about. So you can always have it and reference it as you build out your portfolio. Now, before we get into the specifics, I want you guys to talk to us, right? What real estate do you frequently use? Think about the real estate your physical body connects with and uses. Write it in the chat now. What real estate are you guys using? Think about it. From this morning up until this point, what real estate have you been in? Have you used? Think about it. Rob, what about you? All right, so we got somebody that says hospital.
So I got a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I got an office building.
Okay. Kiana got grocery store too.
And
hotel, restaurant you work at. I like it. Malls. Oh, you went shopping today, huh? You went shopping.
Hotel. Okay.
Were you traveling? Are you guys traveling? Dollar Tree, Walgreens. Wait, but where was Dollar Tree and Walgreens? School, grocery store, apartments. Okay. Now, all of these types of real estates you guys are mentioning, right? So like I said, a bank, a gym. If I were to give you money right now to buy a building, what type of real estate building would you buy? And I'm not talking about a home. I'm talking about commercial property. If you had the cash flow right now, free and clear, what type of property, commercial property, would you buy right now? What type? So
I see hotel.
So I see hotel. What type of commercial property? Be specific.
So I see
we got
retail building.
Okay, but now talk to me. Restaurant. Okay, now listen, we getting somewhere. Why would you buy a retail building right now? Why would you invest in a hotel right now? Talk to me. Why would you invest in a restaurant right now? Why would you invest in a retail building? Someone said McDonald's. Funny, okay. McDonald's, they actually own their real estate.
Yeah. They got cheat codes.
They don't play that REIT stuff.
They cheat codes.
Own that. So, okay, wait. So why would you guys, so someone else said malls. Talk to me.
Okay.
Why malls? Why would you invest in a mall? Why would you invest in a hotel? Right? People are starting to travel and go outside. Robbie, you see that post? Delta was canceling flights because millions of people were traveling during Easter. I said, go ahead, y'all, getting your life back. COVID, no hotels, mall, shopping center, office building. Hotels because traveling is about to start. Okay. So now you see where we're getting, so now also some of the places you guys are saying aren't standalone properties. They're usually in shopping centers. Typically gyms, unless you're a Lifetime Fitness, which is now starting to be owned by Simon Property. Mm-hmm. A lot of these properties you're mentioning, so you said Target, most times these are in shopping centers. So next time you're in these retail locations, look, there's a sign when you enter. And look at the company name that is on that sign. Because there's a high probability that the shopping center is owned by a REIT. So when you go to a Target, and Target is in a shopping center, the shopping center is the REIT. Target pays rent to the REIT. When you are an investor in the REIT, the cash flow is given to you as a shareholder. So a lot of these places you guys are mentioning can be owned by REITs, and REITs are all over the world. All over the world. Now, all of these spaces that you guys are talking about are all types of REITs you can buy. So the same thought process you have with answering my questions That's how you think about what REITs to buy. So,
Right.
for example, some of you mentioned hotels. Hotel industry, including hotel REITs, took a hit last year. Why? Because of COVID. They're slowly bouncing back. Are hotels about to fall off the face of the earth? Are shopping centers going to fall off the face of the earth? We're not going to be in the house, all of our lives, right?
Right.
So understand, if you frequent the location has to pay rent. And if the place is owned by a REIT, the rent is going to the REIT, and 90% of that income is going to you as a shareholder. So when you start to think about REITs, you want to invest in a REIT that has good tenants, that has a good vision, that has a good future outlook, that is the number one space in their industry, right? So one of the types of REITs you can own is retail and shopping centers. Literally, where people shop. If there's stores, shopping malls, shopping centers, you can own the REIT that the stores pay rent to. So that's an industry. The retail industry took a hit. But if you find the key players, they're bouncing back.
Right.
And that is how you can potentially double your money, because the companies, the REITs that fell off, that took a dip, as did pretty much every company last year, they're slowly bouncing back. So you got to be on the lookout and say, I'm not going to just invest in REITs when the mall is booming. You got to catch them REITs while the malls are still struggling, while those shopping centers are still struggling. But now here's the thing. Some of the shopping centers had essential businesses in it. So, for example, one of the REITs that I own that pays monthly, I just recently posted it on my timeline. You're right. Warehouse REITs are also a type of REIT as well. A lot of the shopping centers, if they had essential businesses, they were making money. Therefore, they were still able to pay their rent. Right. The more rent they're able to pay, the more cash flow they're able to generate. Now, a lot of people suffered, but you want to make sure your REIT is still firm. You want to make sure that those tenants are bouncing back, because if you have a REIT that has a lot of properties, has a lot of tenants that have gone bankrupt, that are taking a financial hit, it's hard for them to pay rent. And if it's hard for them to pay rent, that means the REIT that you're owning is struggling. So pay close attention to the types of REITs that you're investing in and which ones are the biggest. Who has the most properties, right? One of the biggest REITs that I personally love that is in the retail space is Simon Property. They are the #1 mall operator in the world. There's a high probability, if you live in a major city right now, the mall that is in your major city is owned by Simon.
Correct.
It's a strong possibility that mall. So next time you go to the mall, look on the wall before you walk in the building. There's a sign. Listen, if my name is Ashley Fox and I own a building, you best believe you will see the word Fox on that building if it's mine. Companies will let you know who owns the building. It's about time you pay attention to the owner and stop walking in the mall trying to be the consumer. Because it's easy to walk. Of course, we walk by the Simon on the wall. We don't care about the billion-dollar family that owns Simon Property. We don't care about the billion-dollar family that owns the store you're shopping at. You know what we care about? If they're not paying taxes. We don't care how they built their wealth. We're not asking how. We're mad that they have. I don't see how that's going to help us progress.
Right.
We're mad at the billionaires for making their billions because the rich are getting richer. I mean, if you were rich, wouldn't you want to get richer too? Like, think about it. Like, if I was rich, you better believe something's wrong with me if I'm not getting richer. I don't want to not have money. So the people who don't have are angry at those who do have. Why not just learn what they did? Do you understand? And this is coming from somebody who worked on Wall Street with millionaires and billionaires. All millionaires and billionaires think the same. They do the same thing.
They do the same thing.
They read the same books. Like, I'm telling you, the same way poor people do. They do the same thing on Instagram. They all watch the same TV shows. What side of the fence are you on? They hang around the same types of people. You ever realize that broke people hang around broke people? Broke people don't hang around rich people. They don't fit in. That's why rich people don't hang around broke people. but we're mad at it. And again, we can get mad at the system all we want. But if tomorrow you're not changing the system, why are we complaining about it? Learn the game. Learn the game. Stop exuding so much negative energy towards people you don't even know, and worry about what's going on in your house. Worry about where your bank account balance is. Worry about where your investments are going. Why are we worried about somebody else's? And yes, the system isn't the best, but there are people who are winning. And I can tell you one thing. I'm one of those people. I'm an investor. I make money. I own a business. I don't pay as much taxes as everybody else either. And I'm 32 and I'm black, fine, and I'm a woman. All odds are against me if you left it up to America, but it's possible. So if it's possible for Ashley Marie Fox and the Rob Boyd, then why can't you play the same game? Why? I'm not mad at Phil Knight. Phil Knight, tell me how you can manage thousands of people and build a $1 billion business. And still, no matter if it's an outlet or a regular store, I still want to buy Nike clothes.
Right.
Like, Phil Knight, what did you do to create such a strong brand?
I'm
trying to do that with Amplify.
Right.
What'd you say?
I said, tell me, please.
Yeah, forget your taxes. Tell me how you got to this point so that you don't have to pay taxes. Tell me how, because I know you weren't always like this. I care about that. Find the good in people, not the negative. Find how you can learn from people so you can build a better you. That's the game we're playing here. Understand that now. You guys said this too. The hospitality industry.
Right.
Where are tourists going? Where are conferences being held? Where are we traveling? Apple Hospitality is a REIT. You know who they own? Hilton and Marriott and Hyatt hotels. You know when you go stay at a hotel, it's the possibility that that hotel doesn't own that building. A REIT does.
High possibility.
And when that hotel pays rent, the REIT makes money. And you know who else makes money? Ashley Marie Fox does, because I own the REIT. The more shares I own of that REIT, the more cash flow I get. I don't care if the REIT's paying me $5. I bet you, and you heard it here, I bet you I will be in the position for both myself and my 3-year-old niece that we will separately be making $10,000 a month in dividends. Listen to me. I promise you, I don't care if it takes us 1 year, 3 years, or 10 years. In 10 years, my niece will be 13. 13. 10 years, and she's making $10,000 a month because her TT put her in a position to win. But you know why she's able to do that? Because her TT wasn't afraid to invest $35 a month the day she was born. She wasn't afraid to do that. So you got to start. And if I can sit here and tell you with the utmost confidence, and to be honest, guys, $10,000 a month for both myself and my niece is pennies to what I've seen. That's actually a little goal. But if I go a little bigger, it might frighten me a little bit. So I'm going to keep it right here. Next year, you might hear me talking about something different. But I'm telling you, what if you can put your child in position and forget, let's just say my niece doesn't need to get $10,000 a month. What if she's getting 2? You didn't have that when you went to college. You didn't get that for allowance growing up.
Hey, look, if I had $2,000 a month when I was in 8th grade, oh, it's a problem.
If you had $200 in 8th grade, it was a problem.
Right.
Like, I was making $200 working at Foot Locker every 2 weeks, and I was 17. Like, so those of you, you may not want to do it for you, but do it for your kids. Kids got time. You have time. No need to rush. By you putting that pressure and telling yourself what you should do or where you should be, that's slowing you down right there. No, you're here rocking with us for a reason. You're going to be on that class next Monday, April 12th at 8 p.m. because you're going to register at bit.ly/REITs class because you want to make sure that a year from now you're in a better position, that your family's in a better position. So I don't care if my niece has $10,000, $100, or $50 million, because we getting it. She's getting it. She will never have to borrow money from anybody. Ever. Ever. You know why, though? Because every month I'm buying her REITs. I just bought her Simon Property, a full share the other day. share by share. Now ask me in a year where my niece is at. Ask me in 5 years where her dividend income is at. That's what matters, guys. If you got to get 15 cents a share every single month for the next 5 years, and that number is growing because you're reinvesting with drip, you better keep going. You better keep going. If you got a 15-cent your way to $1 million, that's better than what your job is ever going to do for you. Ever. So start. Now, another thing you can think, what's another one you like?
I like Global Net Lease personally. So okay.
I didn't tell you to tell them the company. We talk about the types.
No, okay. So look. I gotta preface that, right? So y'all think about this. There are companies like that we work for, huge Fortune 500 companies, and they are great at doing what they do, not at managing real estate, right? FedEx is great at getting a package from a seller to your doorstep very quickly. They're not great at real estate. They're great at shipping a package, right? So think about this. There's a company out there that builds all of the headquarter offices for FedEx, that builds a lot of government buildings for the U.S. governments, and we know they pay their bills every month on time. And yet, we can actually own a piece of the company that builds and manages those properties for these huge companies. And one of those in particular is an office REIT by the name of Global Net Lease, as an example. And they build and manage these properties, and these multi-billion-dollar companies pay them rent every month to occupy these office buildings that they built for them. And so that's one of my other favorite ones because their dividend is amazing, and they pay amazing every single quarter. And then I know they're not going anywhere because the biggest companies in the world all need a headquarters. I know the pandemic has kind of changed office space and work from home, and a lot of workers are working from home, but there is still a headquarters office for all of these top companies, and that won't ever go anywhere. And this company builds those buildings for all of these top companies. So that's just another example of how REITs are literally creating the structure in which we all work, live, and play in every single day. And we can be a part owner of that and be financially independent because of that. And we never thought that it was that simple, because every time we talk about real estate, we always talk about residential real estate. We always talk about buying a duplex, buying a triplex, buying a quad, possibly even an apartment building, which are all great things. And I've done those things before as well. However, once I realized, hey, I can actually skip a lot of the heavy lifting and the work with that process and go jump straight to the income part, we have to understand that it's not always about working harder, it's about working smarter. And so that's another example of just a everyday company, everyday REIT that provides space for the top companies in the world, including governments around the world, also in Europe, here in America, also in Canada. They build office buildings for some of the top companies you'll ever hear of. And those companies pay rent like clockwork, and you can be getting a part of that back in a dividend every single quarter, or for even some companies and some REITs every single month.
Now, so Charles just put 8.45% dividend yield. So let me explain to you what that actually means, right? So Rob said he loves his dividend. So let's talk numbers, right? For one, the reason why the class that you guys need to make sure you're at next Monday, how to invest in real estate with less than 200. The reason why it's called that, because in order to invest in Global Net Lease, I'm almost embarrassed to tell you this, it's $19 a share. I actually got in at $15, $14. Right. $19, right? For every $19 you invest, you get $1.60. Now, let's stay right there for a second.
All right.
It don't sound like a lot, but let me break it down. One, right now, tell me where you can put $19 in and get $1.60 back. Every
continuously.
Every single year. Tell me where. Now, I want you to message me if you got the answer every year, right? Now, and never have to touch a property, never touch it, never do anything. Oh, I forgot to tell you this too. You know, those of you who have bought real estate, Rob has bought real estate before. I haven't. I have clients that have. You know how long it takes to go through the process to buy a property? You know how long it takes even before you get the keys? It takes 10 seconds to process a transaction to own a REIT. And it might even go faster than that.
Yeah, actually.
Now, for every share you own, it's $1.60. So let's talk numbers. Let's say you buy 5 shares. So I got my calculator up. Let's say you buy 5 shares, and it's like $18.50. But let's just go 19.
Okay.
Times 5 shares, $95.
Right. So
you put up $95. But remember, it's $1.60 per share. So if you own 5, it's $1.60 times 5. Now let's do the math. $1.60 times 5. Oh, now you got $8. So for every 95 you put up, you get $8. Now again, where are you putting up pretty much $100 getting $8 back? Tell me where consistently. Now, let's go bigger. Let's say you bought 100 shares. So 100 shares.
Let's talk them numbers.
100 shares. Remember, it's $19 a share. You put up 1,900. 1,900. One time, right? You got $1.60 times your 100. Remember, $1.60 per share times 100. Oh, boom. Now you got $160. So for every 1,900 you put up, you get $160 all the time, like clockwork. And that number, now let's go bigger. Let's go a little bigger. Let's say in 5 years, you were able to buy 500 shares. So over 5 years, so you bought 500, $19. Because one thing you also have to understand too, the REIT prices don't usually move a lot.
Right.
They don't move. You know how like one day Tesla's this and then it's that and that. They don't typically move a lot. They don't move a lot because people aren't buying the flip. They're buying for cash flow.
Right.
So let's just say over 5 years, you bought 500 at 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have put up 9,500 in 5 years, right? So 9,500.
All right.
That meant every year you putting up about $1,900. You put up $1,900 every year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You bought 500 shares. 5 years from now, $1.60 per share, you got 500
about
times 160.
About 800.
Now you get, what'd you say?
About 800?
Yeah, $800. $800 for the rest of your life. So now let's just say you're getting it, you're getting it every quarter. You're getting $200 a quarter.
But this is the thing that this dividend is actually a bonus to the general process that's happening. That even though REITs don't go up and down a lot every day, they're always gradually growing because we all know that the value of real estate gradually grows. So when you think about, the share price and what it will do over time, it's going to gradually grow almost in the same nature that we see the value of real estate gradually grow. So even though you're getting the cash flow, which is a great thing, you are also seeing your net worth increase without any extra work because the value of your investment is growing too.
So my global net lease, I just logged into my account. Mine is up 18%. So let's not forget, I'm getting that dividend, cash flow.
Right.
But it also grew 18%. So that is like, just like Rob said, you bought a property.
Right.
You have the good tenant with the cash flow. And the value of the property went up 20%.
Right.
So if you said, I don't want any more cash flow, let me sell the property and take the cash. You made a 20% profit plus all the income you got.
Exactly.
And guess what happened? Guess how much work you put in? Nothing. You took a 90-minute free class on Monday, April 12th on how to invest in real estate with less than 200. And even if you don't attend the class, you watch this live for what? And we've been on here for about an hour.
Yeah.
And you learn that. Tell me where you can put up any money and get that close to 8% return. No work. None. And how about this? I forgot to tell you this. Every quarter, this company tells you how much money they make. They report all their financials. You know everything about the company.
Yep.
So
no
you
surprises.
know how strong they are, how they've been surviving, changes in the company, how much debt they have, who their clients are or their tenants. You know how much money they're making every quarter. You know the taxes that they're paying. You know the expenses. You know everything. You know why? Because you're part owner of the business. Oh, also, too, we didn't include this, Rob. So technically, you're going to have more cash flow because you don't need to collect that $1.60 dividend.
Yeah,
back
there
into
we
the
go.
company. So you're buying more and more and more shares. So that dividend is actually going to compound. So these numbers I gave you actually aren't even right.
Yeah,
You're going to have more. But understand this. This is what wealthy people do. This is how their grandparents survive. This is one thing I learned on Wall Street. This is what wealthy people do for their kids. So the kids don't build the businesses. They're young. But the kids get paid dividend income. So they got a portfolio of $1 million. Every year they're getting 40, 50,000 just from the $1 million portfolio for the rest of their life.
Right.
And they didn't do anything for it. Imagine if you had $1 million portfolio and you put that in place for your child the day they were born. And the moment they hit 18, they're making 50 grand a year for the rest of their life. Forget a job. Your babies had dividend income. Never had to do a thing. They can go do what they want. But you put your family in a position. Let's say you built a $2 million portfolio. Now we talking 80,000 to 100,000 a year. What you need a job for when you got dividends?
Right.
That's a trust fund, baby. It's not just a negative term we give people. That's a trust fund, baby. That's what we need to build our culture to become. Why do we have to start over every single generation? You know why? Because we don't have enough. We're so busy looking outside versus looking inside. We're so busy pointing the finger at the system versus looking at, well, hey, how am I making the system work? You know why the system works? Because Black people have a $1.3 trillion buying power. I bet you if we didn't have that buying power, this system wouldn't work.
Correct.
It wouldn't work. You know why the system is what it is? Because we take out credit card debt every single time we got the opportunity to. So you just as much as we're mad at the system, also understand how you play a role in the system living out the way it is. The system remains the system because we're in the system. We're not working the system. We're being played by the system. There is no system without the Black buying power, baby. Listen, Phil Knight isn't Phil Knight unless I throw on this Nike sweatsuit. I am a part of that buying power. This was my disposable income. Black people are on track to have a zero net worth by 2053. When we still blaming it on the system, it's still the system's fault. 2053, we still blaming the system. When are we going to look in the mirror and really talk about how we contribute to the system? We already know how the system was built. But you want to know why the system was good and it's a well-oiled machine? Because we know the system's broken, but we choose not to change. Or we continue to say we can't change because everyone's out to get African Americans. And that might be true. Or you can understand how the system is working you, and you can use the system. You want to know how to use the system? Stop spending all your money and go buy the building that is housing the place that you're giving your money to.
Right.
Just start there. Start there. Stop complaining and being angry at everybody else and understand that we need to look in the mirror. We have a zero net worth, not because the system is bad, not because jobs aren't paying more. It's because the whole Instagram was waiting on a stimulus check. That's why the system is broken. Understand, what basket are you shooting at?
Right.
It's okay to get a stimulus check, but if another pandemic comes around and you get another one, that means you haven't grown. Because you know who didn't get a stimulus check? All the people who don't pay taxes that we're mad at, yet we give our money to them. And there's nothing wrong with spending money. But don't sit here and point the finger at everybody when you won't look in the mirror. Don't sit here and say you don't have money when you have habitually, subconsciously conditioned yourself to think it's okay to spend money. Don't sit here and say the system's broken when Amplify is changing the game and the world. And it's so much that we offer, and you choose not to take it.
Right.
Because you're not ready. Listen, we're going to move regardless. The Wealth Builders community is going to grow. We are building. It's going to happen regardless. You got to ask yourself, what side of the fence are you on? What basket are you shooting at? Are all of your friends talking about spending a stimulus check? Or are all of your friends talking about how they invested half of it?
Right.
Are we spending more on our credit cards? Or are we building a debt pay down plan to get rid of our credit cards? That's a mental shift, guys. I can't give you money to fix the problems. I got to fix the mindset. Then the money will change. Change the mindset. Think different, which is challenging because we're talking 30 plus years of conditioning. Some of us are older than Rob and I.
Right.
But it is possible. We got 63-year-olds in our Wealth Builders community investing in vaccine stocks. Don't you dare tell me you can't invest. Don't you dare. And don't you dare tell me it's too late. Don't you dare tell me you're behind. No, you're right where you are because that's where you need to be. You needed to go through all of that BS to get yourself to this point.
Mm-hmm.
You needed to. I needed to try to get my real estate license. Rob and I tried to wholesale properties. We done made a whole company. We done tried all of that.
Right.
We did.
You did all that.
It didn't work. But that doesn't mean we can't play the game. It doesn't mean. But playing the game and changing anything starts with you.
Right.
It ain't even about me. Forget it. Ain't even about Amplify. It's about you. What do you want for you? Are you ready to be uncomfortable? Are you ready to do something different with your time, with your money? Are you ready to change your circle? Are you ready to let go of the old you and build somebody even more phenomenal? That's all that it takes. And at some point, you might have to let go of some people, baby, and that's okay. That's okay. They got you to where you needed to be to have the realizations that you're having at this moment. Understand. Now, REITs are a great way to start, but you don't got to finish there. Ashley Marie Fox will buy a property. Just not right now. If I got $100 grand right now, oh, you best believe it's going into the Wealth Builders community app. It ain't going into no property. Absolutely not. I'm building this business. I get a bigger ROI with Amplify. But in the meantime, I'm going to buy me some REITs. I'm going to build my niece's portfolio and understand that you can too. So, we say all of this to say, how to invest in real estate with less than $200 is possible.
Very possible.
It's possible. It's not something you need a rocket scientist to do. I'm pretty sure you learned a lot today. You don't got to read a finance book. We are the translator to the finance book that you think you should buy.
Right.
Understand that. So I will see you guys April 12th, 8 p.m. How to invest in real estate with less than $200. Register bit.ly/REITs class, REIS class. Bring someone with you. Bring your notebook. Bring your mentality change. Bring your readiness. Because we're not playing.
It's going down next Monday.
It's going down. And if you're in a Wealth Builders community, it's going down Thursday, April 8th for you guys. You guys get access first.
Right.
You get access first. We got something nice coming for the Wealth Builders community. WB gang, tune into the app. We got all the emails that you're getting from us, everything in the app. You pay attention to that, right? We'll see you on Monday. How to invest in real estate with less than $200. I'm excited. When you register for the class, you are going to get some tips. You are going to get some resources. I got some videos. I got some guides. Everything we talked about today and more, there's a download that we'll give you. You will get that in the email. You got to make sure you register. You'll get it between now and Monday, as long as you register and take advantage right now. Class is less than a week away. Be ready. If you got less than $200, you should be in that class. If you're not, you don't have passive income paying your bills right now, you got to be in that class. Regardless. Don't be afraid. Reach out to Rob. Send us messages. Everyone in the Wealth Builders community app, jump on the app right now. We'll be in there. I'm definitely here to answer your questions, to be as supportive as I can. But don't come to me complaining. I don't even get them kind of messages. I don't even get energy. Yeah, I don't get, but it's okay you feel like that. But just know that's not who you are. That's who you've been conditioned to be. We see the real you. And your net worth will not be $0 by 2053.
No, it won't.
Absolutely not. That's a statistic America has placed, not on Ashley Marie Fox, though. I'm not included in that stat. Absolutely not. And anybody that is a part of the Wealth Builders community, we won't either.
Correct.
We love you guys. Stay tapped in. Back on live tomorrow. We'll be tuned in all week. So many things coming. Listen, I can't even split a tea.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Just know how to invest in real estate with less than $200. That's where you need to be first. Everything else will come. I'm excited. Make sure you register. We'll give you guys that guide. It will be in your inbox. Let us know if you have questions. Have an amazing, amazing evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.